And welcome to another episode, Wednesday night of OutKast Pirate Radio. My name is Chris O'Toole. I'll be your host for tonight. So we have a special guest, Leitreanna Brown. She's a psychic medium and a wonderful friend of mine, but also too very well-rounded spiritual person. I can't wait to talk to her tonight. She's on the television series Repossessed that's now streaming on Hulu and Netflix. So I would love to get her on. And also, too, where's my producer? Hey, Letriana, where's my
Hey,
producer?
there
Where is
she
she?
is.
Okay, and my lovely producer, Gwen Johns. Now, see, like, she knows. That's how
I
I
know
roll.
Chris likes to be on at least a couple minutes. I'm sorry, Chris.
Every intro, every
I,
intro, I call her out, and she's now
I
she's
know.
here. Now she's
I
here.
know. Well, you know how it is sometimes. I love Lee. Lee's the CEO. I'm the producer, and we're besties. And sometimes I try to give her and kind of stay in the back,
Oh,
because I'm here all the time. So, yes, I'm here, and I'm so excited. I love it when she's on the show. I have
Me too.
put that out there today for
thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris was
Yes.
excited. I was excited.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely, because it's kind of like this. It's kind of like for me, it's like a blue moon when I see Letriana because she's always busy. Lee's always busy. I can never catch her ever, hardly. So I'm glad she's on. The show tonight and so forth, and we're gonna get right down into it. So let Letriana, tell us a little bit about you and what you do, and how did you start um, in the spiritual realm of mediumship?
Well, I've talked about it a lot from my mother and grandmother and great grandmother's standpoint. It's a maternal thing that's been passed down through the family. But my dad also had abilities. He was empathic. And besides being an empath, he was able to communicate with animals. He had just a second knowledge. He knew what was needing, what they needed, and how to talk to them, and how to get animals to do what he wanted. I guess like a charmer, type thing. But he also had clairvoyance. And I was talking to Matthew about it a couple of nights ago, and I was like, dang, I never talk about that. I never talk about dad's ability. I always talk about, the ladies of the family, but dad knew. I mean, he would tell me certain things. In fact, he knew my husband when he saw him.
Mm-hmm.
It shocked him. It
Wow.
really shocked him. He told me my whole life, I'll know your husband when I shake his hand. I'll know him when I shake his hand. And dad had a heart attack. And Matthew took me to the hospital and was holding my little girl, who was a toddler at the time. And Matt walked over and shook dad's hand. And dad had this look like, oh my God. And he said, I told you I'd know him. And right there, he turned to Matthew and said, I'm giving her to you to take care of her. And dad did not live to come to our wedding, but we knew he was there. We knew he was there.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's
Can I say something about her dad? Do you mind, Lee?
absolutely,
Please.
absolutely.
One
Go
of
ahead.
my fondest memories. Now, mind you, I may be a country girl. I'm a tomboy, but I hate snakes and I hate spiders.
Yes, you do.
And I got when I was an adult and I was working on the ambulance, I got bit by a brown recluse, so that makes it even worse. But I can tell you this: her dad used to come to school and do shows. He'd bring snakes and different animals,
Right.
and honestly, everybody looked forward to it. And me being the wimp I was about snake, he would have the snake in his, however he held it, and he would make you feel so like
Safe.
so. I don't remember the words he said, but he would make you feel more than safe. It was more like, if you do it this way, it'll be fine, and you just need to try it, kind of thing. And he made you feel so. We loved it, and I hated snakes, and that was the weirdest thing but I do remember she talks about this monkey, and there's a kind of personal joke in that. But that I remember he had different animals, and I really do
Right.
believe that the monkey we talk about he brought to school. I really do. I think he did. I really did.
Her name was Flossie Mae. Okay. Flossie Mae wore dresses and Pampers.
Mhm.
And she messed around and got, my dad had a Native American, like a seal on the wall behind her cage, and it had feathers hanging off of leather straps. And, they were dangling down. And somehow, I don't know, I don't know, but she got one of those straps around her neck and had choked herself. And she
Oh my
couldn't get
gosh.
free. And she was just hanging there. And Dad was on the phone with somebody, and I kept trying to interrupt him. And I finally just had to shake him and say, Flossie's hung herself. We shot out there. Dad always had a pocket knife on him, like Matthew, and he cut her down. And we were doing CPR on her. Oh my God, it was horrible. And my grandmother was Pentecostal holiness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that means that she was extreme, right?
Yeah.
And he sent my grandmother to the liquor store to get some rock, to get some rock and rye, and they put lemon and honey in it. Okay, that's for coughs.
Right.
This monkey, they kept putting it in her mouth, putting it in her mouth, and then doing compressions. Hold her up, and put it in her mouth. Well, she finally came around. It was an ordeal. It was really awful. Well,
Wow.
the funny part is she'd start getting sick, and she'd sit up on her perch, and she would just, we called her the drunk monkey, because she would start acting so sickly because she wanted some more of that liquor.
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted some more of that liquor.
Yeah.
So that's
guess what I did, Chris?
The drunk monkey.
Yep, I said, yep, drunk monkey. So we said drunk, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna be funny back when Mom was still with us, in in body too. So okay, I said I'm gonna create a paranormal group. And it's gonna be me, Lee, and Mom, and it's gonna be called Drunk Monkey Paranormal. And I made it. I have a Facebook page called Drunk Monkey Paranormal.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
It's
So
really
every
cool,
once in a while something will pop up, but I won't delete it.
And it sounds like and that sounds like also too like a digital marketing company.
We need
yeah,
we'll use it for something one day, but I won't delete it.
We will.
Of that.
Or for a company, doing film.
But yeah, her dad was awesome, and he comes around and goofs with me sometimes, and he does, and it's funny. So he's a mess. Yeah, he's a mess.
Oh, so here's my wife. She's ghosting in the background. Say hey.
Yeah, she's peeking in.
Hey, hello, floating head. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey.
She said hello. And here you go. There we go.
There she is. Hey, darling.
Hi. That was cute. She's peeking in.
Yeah, very cute.
Yeah, she had to come get some stuff, and now she's leaving. So, Leitreanna, let's talk about Repossessed, the TV show. Now, I remember when you were basically filming and all that, and you're going to different places and so forth. So,
that was crazy.
Like, I can imagine it could be crazy, just the fact that, you're around, haunted objects and so forth like that, we all get different feelings for things and so forth. So how was your experience? Like, doing the show, what, what did you find that was, made you think twice about even touching? And, what was your basic experience, through this whole
Okay.
film?
Well, oops. I just pulled my headset out. Hold on a second.
We can still hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So I'm drinking muscadine wine. All right. So you've asked a question. Here we go. Here we go.
So,
what I didn't know was that, I did know that Canada was a hub for the paranormal TV. production, but I didn't realize it was as big as it was. I mean, it's a huge place for
Right.
that. I don't know so much about now because Disney bought out the History Channel and several other things, and there's been a whole, with the writer's strike and then the actor's strike, because a lot of the reenactments are done there.
So, question. So, with the writer's strike now, did this merger happen before the writer's strike or after the writer's strike?
It was after. Wait a minute. No, it wasn't. It was before. It was before the
You
writer's
got-
strike.
Yep.
Yep. And not only that, but it was announced in the middle of filming. So the camera folks and the audio people and the folks that are doing the reenactments, so over makeup, hair, costume, actors, all of that, location, sets, blah blah blah, all of those people got this news right in the middle of it. And I just assumed that these people, these cameramen and audio, whatever, videographers, all of them, I just assumed all of these incredibly talented people had experience with the paranormal. Maybe they had done other paranormal shows like Paranormal 911 and Paranormal Survivor and other things that they had produced.
Right.
But these people, bless their hearts, they had not. And as things started opening up and happening, I was thinking I really need to push hard in order to give them what they were expecting. Only our director knew what I was talking about because his wife of 25 years had done similar work as I have.
Right.
And he knew exactly what I was doing. So if I had faked anything, she was doing readings before, and if I had done anything off, you didn't find this till halfway through the filming.
Right.
I've never even told you this, Gwen, but she would have known, and he would have known. Thereby, I would have been replaced or scolded or fired or whatever. And so when David mentioned to me about his wife, and as we got to know each other, I was like, holy crap. Why didn't you tell me this? Because he said, I didn't want to make you nervous. I wanted them to be able to understand you. I wanted you to be able to make your relationships with everybody on set and with Mo and Marika. And I was here to support you. This knowledge was to support you, not to intimidate you. So, I just had to just keep moving forward. But, it was kind of like you're walking a tightrope and then suddenly you look down. It's like, I should never look down, but I'm looking down. So, yeah, that was the way that felt. But so the camera folks were shaking in their boots, literally having to use body harnesses because these things are happening right in front of them. One of the guys actually had come from the Curse of Oak Island, and they were on a holiday of some sort for 2 weeks. So he was picking up extra work with us. And he came straight from Oak Island through Nova Scotia, and they went to pick him up and stuff because we went on our break. So the breaks were off and on, like they were filming and then we were filming and they were filming. So he was able to do that. And so these people did not expect this. They're used to dealing with terrain and cold and rain and big machines and stuff. But this, stuff happening right in front of them. And we actually had a situation of teleportation of a device from one end of the room to the other. Things that scratched us under our clothes. So there's no way that, we have a leather coat on, and now all of a sudden we've got Mo had scratches across his neck here. Where did that come from? He had on a coat and a shirt and an undershirt. It was cold.
Right.
So anyway, there's just a lot of things like that happened. And so it was a lot like Survivor. We're just trying to hang on. And I said, you guys are trying to kill us, aren't you? Because it just got amplified bigger and bigger and bigger. So it was.
Yeah, I mean, production is never concrete, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like working in the entertainment industry for close to over 25 years, man, I can tell you, in production, nothing is ever concrete. Things always change, and there's been times too that we've gotten news in the middle of a production, and I mean, it's cool that they did spend the money to have the same crew with y'all, right? Right, the same camera people.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, most of the time when they go to different locations, they'll hire a local freelancers like in that area,
Yes,
to
that's
come in
exactly what
to
we did. Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
We had
So
PAs that were hired, local folks, and they
right,
were the most fun because they had no idea what we were trying to do. And some were
right.
extremely detailed and very helpful and on point with everything they did. And then there was another one that brought me my clothes um, in grocery bags, balled up wet. And I was expected to go on set. And I was trying to figure out what in the heck was I supposed to do. Marika got hers the same way. Mo had taken care of his own, so he wasn't bothered. So I'm in my room ironing my wet clothes, trying to get them dry. And so they had to put off filming until we were able to use the laundry service at the hotel to get things straight. Oh, Lord, it was a mess.
So how was it, working with Marika and working with Mo, on this series?
Well, I've got to tell you, Mo, he's got psychic abilities. And he didn't know that.
Hello.
He would say, if this happens, I'm going to do this. Or if, by chance, if this other thing happens, let's go this way with it or whatever. And because he had studied or he had done some things or he had some ideas. Well, just as sure as he had said that, that's exactly what happened every time.
Right.
And I said, I cannot believe you. I mean, what do you think is going to happen this time? And he would say, and 9 chances out of 10, he'd get it right. At least to the first part. He wouldn't go into any resolution or anything. We had no idea half the time, where we were, much less who we were going to meet and what the items were going to be.
For you guys who don't know, Mo is the guy.
Yeah.
Marika is the lady with the curly hair. And then, of course, there's Leitreanna.
And I highly suggest watch this series on Netflix, on Hulu. It's really good. I mean, look, if you like, travel in the sense of like antique shows, road shows, and all this it's kind of like that, but it's with haunted objects. And I'm telling you, it's really good. I really enjoyed the series.
Oh, thank
Definitely check
you.
it. Oh, no problem, man. Definitely check it out. Like I said, on Netflix and Hulu, Repossessed. It's
Disney
pretty.
Plus, Apple, also.
Yeah.
Oh,
Disney
okay,
Plus,
Disney
Apple
Plus and Apple as
TV.
well. And so, are y'all
Mhm.
going? Or is there a talk in the talks of making like another season? Of Repossessed. I mean, I know
We
it's
do.
kind of been hanging for a
It
while.
has been hanging. There was a soft release. The History Channel did their thing, but I didn't feel like we got the uh, support that I would have liked. Um, we asked some questions and they said, sure, we'll do exactly that. And that's exactly, what we did. We were on television, we were on the news, we were on several different podcasts that were national for Canada, some that were North American, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it wasn't like a bunch of advertisements and things like that. So, I felt, like this could have been a much bigger thing
Right,
if we had advertised it differently, because there were a lot of things that were supposed to happen.
right.
Well,
Now,
next thing I know, Stack TV got it and they
uh,
released it and it was big. And then right after that, well, let's see, it was History Channel, then it was Hulu in the United States. And then it was Stack TV in Canada, and then Disney Plus, Apple TV got it. And then now back in Canada, Netflix has it, and they released it for Halloween and put it on the carousel, which is what we wanted to see. And things are going really well with that. So
Good, good. And you know what? And I hope that y'all get the same ratings that y'all did in Canada, here in, United States. Now, I mean, I know some production companies and all that, they do have, you know, in their contracts and so forth that, you can't advertise, the show, that they have to advertise it, of course,
Yeah.
before the show's released and all that. And so and then it's it's kind of hard in a way because as you were saying too about the whole advertisement, I mean, because all of it's just it's money, you know what I'm saying, like how much they really want to spend or what's actually in the production budget, so
Right.
if they're paying for freelancers and hotel expenses and gas and
Oh
you know
man, they paid for a lot.
right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So, there could not, there's a possibility there wasn't, wiggle room that much, for. I'm sorry, that's my dog. She's spoiled. She's in her kennel right now. She wants to
Oh.
come out and get attention, and that's not happening right now. Yeah, so but like what are the limitations that you can do like for advertising, to increase viewers? I mean, because I know it's hard, it's challenging if if you're not down with the demographics. Hey, Ouija, be quiet, babe. Um, if it's harder for you to advertise. You know what I'm saying? Especially like with with being a content
Oh,
creator. She's
listen, he's talking to you.
yeah. See, but like if I let her out, it's like
Chris,
watching a
we're
little.
baby, we're fur baby mommies, so we
No,
get
no.
it.
Yeah. If I let her out, she's like a little toddler. She'll get into everything. And for some reason, she loves underwear. I mean, that's her favorite thing. She just likes to play with it,
Yeah.
run, you know. So just my luck. She'd be running around in the background with panties in her mouth, you know. While we're live, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Yeah. So what is the future you think that's going to be for Repossessed? In your honest opinion.
Well, there's been some conversations. I can't really say exactly what they are, but there has been some really fantastic things that's come about. With the re-release, we were asked to share some things and behind the scenes photos and things like that. I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't, and we did. So they've also been doing a lot of advertisement in Canada, especially now that Netflix has it. I was told that they saw it at a bus stop. So there's some really great things that could happen from it. I'm really excited about. Um,
And
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. And they told you that they gave you like some advertising material,
Yeah, they
pictures and
did.
all that. Okay.
Yes, they did. So there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, even though all the people that had done the work before is no longer there, you know, because of the merger. But Sphere is going really strong, and Sphere is the one that's leading all of that.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, because
Yeah, and
yeah, the
also
more Mhm.
I wanted to mention that Mo has been talked to several times from BBC about this, and he
All
called
right.
us. We'll see. There's things
Hey
that
Nicole.
could happen.
Nice. Hey, and thank you guys for tuning in. We've
Yes.
been talking and I've been looking and it's not the easiest way for me to like respond to people, but thank you so much. We appreciate y'all coming in and listening to us, and it's awesome. Thank you. I'm sorry about that, Letriana. I didn't mean to like
It's
interrupt.
okay. It's
And
all
so
right.
forth.
Yeah, we're having a good time, talking about that. Also, I don't know if you're aware, but Matthew, my husband, and I did a show with my mom before she passed. This was her last recording of Family Spirits with Brandon Alvis and Mustafa Ganalore.
Now,
And
is that that's the trailer that I saw, correct?
yeah,
I
Yeah.
totally felt your mom. Like I totally felt her. I was like, whoa, this is like so cool. I mean, like it was just like her spirit was so strong. Like,
yeah,
just in
she
that,
is.
film.
She's amazing. And I know that she looked at Gwen as her other daughter. She did. Daughter from another mother is what
Oh
she
yeah,
would say.
like
That's what she
yeah.
used to call me, daughter number 2.
Daughter number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I can tell, just by, talk, not talking to
She's
her a few
always
times, but
with me.
talking to you, and and she was next to you, and we're all, conversing together. I mean, dude, I love your mom. I didn't meet her personally, you know what I'm saying? But I just loved her energy. It's still here, you know
She's
what
a
I'm
very
saying?
loving person. She promoted love and forgiveness and just very vibrant person. And I've had people come to me and say, your mom was everything. She took care of me in the ER. She took care of me when I was having surgery. She did a lot of wonderful things.
Mhm.
She still
And
takes
so
care of you.
she does.
She does.
She
Yeah.
really does.
I
Yeah,
was very surprised.
and I don't mean to interrupt and so forth, but I just saw uh what was posted about someone having their father's ashes
Yep, that's
what
Nicole. Hmm.
necklace. Wait. Oh wow. Wow. That is awesome. That is completely awesome. I just wanted to recognize that I saw that. And that is really cool. That is amazing. Yeah. I need to get my dad's ashes. My dad's ashes, I guess, are with my aunt, But I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, you know what? I have my mother's ashes, but I don't have anything of my father.
You definitely should.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't estranged, you know what I'm saying? But we just kind of lived different lives, like he knew I existed. Vice versa. When we got together, it was always a good time. I never had an argument with my father of like the 23 years that I known him. So that was a complete blessing, for someone who was very stubborn, you know what I'm saying, who didn't, how some dads are, they're just stubborn, they're set in their ways
Yeah.
and all that. But going back to Repossessed, um, do you feel like any from that series that you had some type of like attachment from an object, from an energy, like, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing here? Where you just had to like basically cleanse yourself and so forth. And out of those objects that y'all did pick up, that y'all have possessed, like, what was the most strongest object, of like of negative, energy that have came out of it, and how did you deal with that?
So, as far as the most powerful object,
Yeah, that had like some type of dark, it is Halloween, and
yes,
I
it is.
have not been in my
Um,
Halloween mood this year, so we're gonna talk about some scary
yeah,
stuff.
there was a coffin of a child,
Mm.
and the child, when we opened it, inside was very, very alive
Uh-huh.
and very vibrant. It wasn't scary, but what was outside of it was. And I don't know exactly what happened to that child. Something's not right there. Um, I don't know what it was. But besides that, there was it was the Florida episode. There was a doll that had no head, and the lady that brought it in is a very powerful witch, and she was she said that she would be buried with that doll, that it was very haunted, that it was something that had been passed down through her family, and she would be buried with it because she didn't want anybody else to deal with it. And I just found that object to be extremely negative, and I don't think I would want to have anybody, you know,
Okay,
I don't know how to describe it. Why would I want to have
me.
my spirit connected to something?
Hey, question. Okay, so we're talking about this, right? Now, I know that things just kind of show up in the background or whatever, but I could have swore I just saw an arm.
I did see an arm.
I saw
Did you
something,
see
but
it?
I thought somebody was moving around. So,
No, it's just me.
oh,
But where that, see, it's again, where I've seen that is near my dog's kennel. Okay, so long story make short, I had I think I told Gwen about this. I started hearing like someone say help me, like in a chipper voice, like, a few weeks ago. Hey, be quiet. Like a few weeks ago. And it was so weird, because it woke me up in the middle of the night. Hey, shut up. It woke me up in the middle of the night. And that hasn't happened. It's been pretty peaceful here. But just strange things. This morning, I saw like a white orb go across the refrigerator door this morning. Hey, be quiet. So I don't know. Strange things have been happening. Like about a month ago, she was barking. She didn't want to go in her kennel. She was growling at something that wasn't there. So like, who knows? I think it's my uncle's grandfather because he used to live here. But I just saw an arm when you were talking. But I don't know if it's what Leitreanna was talking about, because when you were talking about the casket, I started feeling in my throat like I was swallowing my tongue or something. Shut up. Like I was swallowing my tongue. It was weird. Ouija. Shh.
something could be aggravating.
I think something is, yeah.
That could be what it
She's a
is.
scaredy cat, man. She's scared of wind. She's scared of trash bags.
Sounds like Leitreanna's doggy.
I
Yeah,
threw her little doll across the room, and she stepped over a towel to pick up her doll, and she doesn't step over anything. No, she'll just stand there. So she's getting better, but she's been seeing something. She's been sitting on the sofa, and she'll look to the left, she'll look to the right, and I'm calling her, and it's like she's trying to clear clear her walkway. And I thought, what in the world? And Matt was like, what is she looking at? What is she looking at? So, yeah, she's picking up something too. But that one doll, I feel like we could have spent more time with.
Yeah.
Because she talked about, well, her husband is a detective, retired from
Right.
New
Which
York,
episode was it?
Florida.
Was it? Okay, because I get the numbers
Yeah.
messed up. Yeah,
And
I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it.
please, that would be great, Gwen. Thank you. And whenever she presented that doll to us, and I was trying to, research it, when I touched it, it was like, no, you don't need to be touching me. You don't need to be touching me, like set me down. And I smelled something too. And I wasn't sure if it was bodily fluids of some type, because, I know that spells like that. And she comes from generations and generations of witches. And not all witch, just because you call somebody a witch doesn't mean they're all the same, as we all know.
Right.
That could be anything. That's like calling somebody a female. There's a lot of females, tall, short, old, young, we're all different. And so I don't know exactly what I don't know exactly what she was, but I know that she had been called in several times on other TV shows. One was Ghost Adventurers, to help with a witch's object.
What's
So
her name?
it's not coming to me. Gwen, have you found it?
I'm looking.
But I thought the world of her. And but I also believe what she told me, because I could definitely see it. She got that casket from somebody that had a haunted house, and they had turned their barn into a haunted house. And when they went in to see it, because people have been saying it was haunted, they'd had all these personal experiences, and she went in. Whenever she walked in, and she and her husband together, the doors blew off the barn.
Oh, wow.
And they said, "Here, you need to take this coffin. That's why we brought you here. This is for you." Basically, good luck and good riddance, But yeah, I found it very interesting, especially the doll she brought in. And I really feel like we should have spent more time with it. Also, another thing while we're talking about it is there's a voodoo altar that was brought in the episode where we were in Canada. Lord, where were we? Anyway, it was the Canada Curiosities in Canada.
Was it in the store? That was the curiosities. Yeah. I'm still looking. I'm sorry, guys. If I'm missing,
I'm gonna look too.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. No, but
that thing wanted blood. I told them this thing wanted blood, and they were saying, "No, we give him bourbon and cigars." And no. That's not what I saw. That's not no.
Right. Yeah, like I personally don't practice voodoo, but I had grandparents who did on my dad's side of the family. I want to make that abundantly clear because my other side of the family, like, we don't do that. Like, no, of course not. But I heard that my grandparents did. That they were devout Catholics, but they did practice the craft, doing making herbs and everything like that. One thing that my aunt told me before she passed away was because I don't know, something told me, like, okay, you know what, someone had to practice voodoo in my family. I don't know why. Maybe because where I used to live, there were dead voodoo practitioners that were buried on my property.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I lived in Bay Oaks Harbor and everything. So I'm thinking, okay, well, is it because of this? You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff. And so I did ask my aunt. She was like, well, yeah, but we don't talk about it, because we're Christians. And, she told me a story when she was younger. My grandparents had 10 children. And so he came home from work and she went to hug him and she got sick and projectile vomited. And then he went to work, and then that morning she was making a concoction out of herbs and everything like that and saying something in French. And so when he came home, she said something in French and it had, like, I guess powder or, like, flour mixed in with it, and she blew it in his face, and then he just dropped. He just, like, dropped. And she said, like, for 45 minutes they couldn't even touch him. Like, they couldn't touch their dad or not. And then he just got up and then everything was good and they didn't know what happened. And so several years later, like, yeah, I tell my friend who's a voodoo priestess, and she was like, oh, he had death attached to him and she smelled it. And that's what made her sick, you know? So she was making contractions and all that to get death off of him,
Yes.
because it was coming after him, and so yeah. And then that was the only thing that was ever spoken about, and then it was just kind of like, kind of put underneath the rug and everything like that. all that. And
Yeah,
hey,
she
thank
was
you,
helping.
Nicole, for
Yeah.
being so interactive with us tonight.
She has
I
a
just,
question, and I was looking for the picture, so I missed it. I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah. So this was the Florida episode of with that doll. I'm going to
Lee,
look for the.
I know you're looking too, but it's Nicole
Yeah.
has a question.
I
She says,
keep seeing snakes in my dream. No, baby, it's not a bad sign. No, baby. What that means is that you're getting a spiritual upgrade. When you see a snake in a dream, if it's like attacking you, it depends on the behavior of the snake, then that means you have an enemy. Okay. If it is there existing, especially if you see it like breathing, that is either medicine or it can be an Ouroboros, which means that spiritually you are growing. I had one in a dream, and it was like he caught his tail in his mouth, and you couldn't tell where the beginning was and where the end was. You could just barely see the top of his head. And as it turns out, that's what it meant. So the first was a yellow cobra, and the recent one last night was a black one. What was it doing, Nicole?
There you go. Moving. Okay, there we go.
Okay, moving in a circle. That means that represents to you the symbol of an Ouroboros. And that means that you are spiritually growing. And that's a really good sign. About a foot from you. That means it's coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. So be watching for more very vivid dreams.
yeah, it's so cool that people have vivid dreams. I rarely have vivid dreams, but when I do, they're just really intense. You know,
Yeah,
and I when I was younger, I used to dream all the time, and I can remember my dreams like in detail. But now, since I'm older, and I'm pushing close to 50, I no, that doesn't that doesn't happen anymore unless something's trying to tell me something, and yeah, that's just it's really cool how the mind works
it
and
is.
how energy works and how frequencies, because everything has frequency to it. You know what I'm saying? Everything. So, and that's why I love like that. The Haviland Nicola, and I'm doing a little bit more research with it, trying to make it a little bit stronger. Because, like we said, residual energy is just memories. That's all that residual energy is. It's a cycle. It has no intelligence. You know,
That's right.
that's why when you hear the saying, "If these walls can speak," walls actually can speak because it has residual energy in the structure. So if you go to, for example, if you go to your grandma's house, right, and it's you feel that warmth, that love, and all that because you're feeling the residual energy of the happiness and all that absorbed in the structure. But like if you go to a place that's haunted, like an asylum, where there were people who had mental issues and it was up, down, and all this crazy energy and all that, then you're gonna feel that within the structure,
Yeah,
you know. And so that's what residual energy is. In intelligent energy, it gives you results and all that. I like to call it residual energy haunting or stuck energies. And yes, it is because it's in a loop, you know, it really is. So, but, there's so much to learn for residual energy because residual energy does not lie. It
that's
can't.
exactly right. It's
So,
repeating.
absolutely. So that's why, with the Haviland Nicole, it's so crucial, to work with missing cases reports or, homicide. I mean, I've never worked homicide, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, looking at cases in true crime, but also, too, watching the news, making or performing a CITC session, when I first hear the news, and then whatever results are come out, I compare them, to what was found, and most of them have been accurate.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? It's been like in that 98 percentile. So, and the things that come out, and you're using your own brain wave energy to do it. So like
You
for
knew when
instance,
we used it on here one night,
yes.
and that was bizarre with some stuff. It really did.
Oh no,
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
And see, and like I have like an audio interface. I just got to see if it works on here, But I can hook up the Havlin Nicola, through the audio interface. You know what I'm saying? And like talk maybe one day where we can hear what's like really going on because it'll pick up on your consciousness. You know what I'm saying? It will say things like I have a video out there from a couple of weeks ago that Brooke and I basically did together doing some experiments, sorry, at her house, and you literally hear me come through the box. You know what I'm saying? You literally hear my voice. You don't even hear my voice. You hear what I'm saying, but how I'm saying it, you hear another voice on top of it
Wow.
simultaneously. Right? And see, and this is the weird part because what I've noticed as well is that there is some type of um dimension. And I know it sounds really out there, you know, but I have experienced, and not just me, other people have experienced this too with me with the Haviland Nicola, where things start to slow down. So like I was at this place with the most it's the oldest building in Baytown. And so there's a lot of um negative energy that's associated to Bay Oaks Harbor where I lived. Yeah, it's all connected, like the history from like the 1800s. We went over there, and you can hear the woman who used to own it. Her name was Jeannie Duke, and she used to be a head. I want to say mistress. Mistress. It's not a mistress. It's over like an orphanage. It's over a school, you know. And so, but I heard that she was very strict. When she came here to Texas, her husband died in the Civil War. She came here to be with her brother Henry Gillette, and help him out. When she got here, about 3 months after she got here, one of her boys died. I
Oh
think
no.
of
Oh.
yellow fever. So I
Mm.
think she was an angry woman because of loss. You know what I'm saying? And she was real strict. And you can hear her like rapping, like I think I still have the audio or the video, but you can hear like a rapping on the desk. You hear someone say, leave, get off this property, and so forth like that. Like toward the end, what was really weird is that and Vicky didn't hear this. Vicky
What?
was not. Vicky was with us, and Vicky was not aware this was happening. But then
Oh.
all of a sudden, you hear the Havlin Nicola go,
Oh,
and, like,
wow.
and like these words were coming out, and I'm like, man, do you hear that? I'm talking to my friend. Do you hear this? Like, oh my god, yes, I hear that. We did the playback. You don't hear any of it
What?
at all. You don't hear none of it. Not only that, I've noticed looking through the videos that Brooke and I have filmed and so forth using that Havlin Nicola, like in real time, I will hear my voice come out, right? And so
Wow.
forth. And I'll say that, man, do you hear my voice? But then when you do the playback, you don't hear my voice. But you'll hear my voice a few minutes later.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? Like in the video. And I'm like, how does that happen? So that's what I'm saying. I think, with these frequencies that because what we were doing too, we had the Havlin Nicola, and then I have another amp that's kind of like that. So I put the SP7 on. So they were just merging together, you know, with the frequencies. And like you hear someone say like succubus or whatever and all that, and then it just started acting crazy, and then it's like round round. I mean, it just sucks the energy out. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And then you hear someone EVP like Class A saying wow like a dude. I can't even wow. I can't even get that low. But it was like right next to my phone that you
Wow.
can hear it and it was like peaking. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, especially like with haunted objects and everything like that, that it could really do some really cool stuff. But while I have you here and all that, Miss Letriana,
Uh-huh. I'm
I
here.
got I have these old ass Aquarian tarot cards from 1970, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So if you can feel anything from these cards, because you know what, strange shit has happened, since I've had these.
Oh, those are the ones you were telling me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I feel feminine energy, and it's not because you're holding it. It's old feminine energy. I smell smoke, incense and smoke. I see like candlelit room or very dimly lit room. I know I'm setting a scene here. Hold on, I'm getting here. The little beads that hang down that look like a drape, but it's beads. Here's another arm.
What?
Oh, it's been happening. I just hadn't said anything. I'm hoping I can go back and catch it.
It's darker than both of us. Our complexion is darker. There it is.
Dude, I just felt something touch me.
Reach for your hat. Do it again. Do it again. Do it. Come on.
Look,
You can do
I may
it.
be saying too much, but when that happened, my nipples got hard. I just don't think that, I don't think that's right.
They do weird stuff. The energy is just kind of, my hair has gone like, my hair's kind of poofy. So it'll go
And
like,
look, this is Native Americans too. Native Americans own this land. Used to be rich in history and all that. But no, thank you for like trying to pick up what's going on here because
Yeah.
like I want to get rid of these. I just don't think that our energy like aligns. Oh, you seen it both times too? Like I thought maybe it's like my dog or something, but there's
oh, this is,
no
I
way.
see
And
it.
after I felt it, yeah, man, it's strange things have happened. Like I said, like I picked up this dude's voice that was like a, English dude, y- and so forth. But yeah, I mean, so let me tell you a little bit that I know about these cards. So,
I do see a mirror
uh-huh.
of soul with it. This person was not just trying to look into energy or future. This person was trying to look into people's souls. Interesting. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. What do you know?
Oh no, that's pretty interesting. No, so these here, my aunt gave them to me, and she said she does not know where these came from.
I love them.
I don't know, but she gave them to me. I mean, she's a devout Catholic. She's religious. She can't have stuff like this in her house. But the things that you explained to me is basically the things that my mother explained to. Hey, some of the stuff that my mother explained to me when her and my aunt were younger.
There's a
About the
hand. The
bees.
arm.
Huh?
The
Oh,
arm.
Yeah.
that's crazy. No, don't touch me. Look, and like I said, there's Native Americans. I think I picked up a black dude, but like I said, this place has a lot of history to it. Even this land here used to be an old pipe yard for Humble Oil,
Wow.
now Exxon Mobil, which is like, I mean, that was in the 1900s.
The hand
Say
is
it again.
sound, like trying to touch the back of your head. I have a question for
I
you.
don't know. It could be my dad. I mean,
Hey,
go ahead.
Kathy.
You mentioned him.
Yeah. What I was thinking about was that I feel like a lot of spirits feel like they can reach out to me because I have a familiar ethnicity to them. And the fact that I've got so many ethnicities in me, I feel like it makes me spiritually more approachable because I know that my spirit looks different because of it. Yeah, tilt your hat where the decal hits the light. He's right.
Are you talking about like facing them
There.
forward?
Yeah. I don't see it.
My bad.
Sean,
If
did
I'm
you see it too? Did you see what I saw?
He said he had seen it a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I think they're messing with your baby puppy back there too.
We're wondering if he said maybe reflection, but what I saw was a whole arm from
so,
I
I
didn't
see it
see
again.
hands, but
I don't think that part was a reflection that time.
Yeah, so the only thing that's behind me right now is like my bed. I do have a wall back here that's not sheet. I mean, it's sheetrock, but it's not.
This was moving. What I saw.
It's not floated. Yeah. I see it moving back and forth. Now that's Vicky, but now we have a comparison.
yeah, Kathy said
That's her ass right there. Sorry, babe. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that wasn't her.
It had to be right there.
Yeah.
She just walked in.
Hey, Brandon, look and see if you see an arm pop up. Watch Chris, because we see a whole daggum arm.
Yeah, just ignore that. That was my wife. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay,
Right,
they're
anyway,
out now.
Let's just stop talking about it. Yeah, Nicole saw it. Kathy saw it. So let's stop talking about it because it seems to pop up when we're not talking about it.
See, now I'm gonna have to go back and freeze frame. See,
Yeah.
I see it again. Now, I mean, like, I don't have anything back there that would, you know what I'm saying, would show up. In order for that to show, they have to be right behind me.
The thing is, if somebody was trying to do what we saw, the chances of them being seen is really high because the arm was up to here. Coming
and also too, you have to remember I live like less than 30 seconds away from a cemetery, off of Ferry Road, and we're right here by the bayou. So that's just
who the hell knows, baby.
Right, and we had downfall of rain the past few days. So along with that, you know what I'm saying, and then we're basically. I mean, because like Baytown is the lowest point of Houston.
She's saging for everybody.
Thank you. Nicole, girl, sage for me because I need it. Like, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty crazy.
So
there goes
was
again.
Hilarious when
Dude, who is showing your arm? Can you do it again?
We're trying to talk about this thing, it's just taking the whole.
Well, let's talk about the cards and see if it'll just. Yeah, let's talk about the cards. How many cards is left in the deck?
Yeah, it's a partial.
All of them.
They are.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, their whole deck. Look.
For some reason, I was thinking it was a partial. For some reason.
Oh no. Oh, sorry, because it's white. It's white. It won't show. But yeah, it's like the original instruction book. I don't know if you can see the cards here.
Oh, how beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're very beautiful. When I looked online, they were about between like $250 to $300.
Absolutely.
Just for the deck. You know what I'm saying? You really can't see that one. But yeah, it's a beautiful deck. It's an Aquarian deck. And when I brought this into my home and into my other home, there was an orb that shot into the bathroom, and then something was manifesting, and then it went in my room, and I was like, oh hell no. So that's why this needs to find a new home. Maybe this arm can take it wherever it needs. And
Take the
yeah,
cards.
take the
Would
card.
you allow us to study them? And if you want them back, we'll send them back.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Because I'd
Yeah,
like
I mean,
to separate it by, the students. Okay,
right.
I just turned on a device here, and it's saying "Leave me alone," but you're the one reaching for her.
Right?
Everybody's
That's
saying
not the
they'll
right
take
person.
Oh, you know who I think it is? I think it's Ed. Remember I told you about that attachment, Ed, and so forth like that? Because I
Yeah.
think Ed is black. I think
There it
Ed
went.
was
I just saw it again.
Ed is a Mr. Tom. Okay, and so please, people, please don't be offended when I say that, because it is a very offensive racial slur to say. But he is. He's a Mr. Tom. He is a black man who kisses slave master's ass over at Bay Oaks Harbor, and he watches every move that I make. I picked up Ed several times over in Bay Oaks Harbor. You know, so I know who he is, and he's probably showing himself because he likes to make himself known. But yeah, like he tells them everything. Like he's just yeah. So that's Ed, most likely.
It sounds like it.
Because I can guarantee you, I can turn on the Havlin Nicola, and probably in the next 3 seconds, his name's gonna pop up. This is Ed. So, and to me, that looked like dark skin.
Yes, it did.
So Native is a Native American, or whatever. But then it's like,
Yeah.
I can't see a black dude being around here. You know what I'm saying? Like because of the fact of
He's not
I
real
am.
dark.
No,
Well, because
He's about the color of mom, of what mom
because
was.
yeah, because where I live at, where I reside, back in the day too, this used to be kind of like a sundown town. You know what I'm saying? The KKK were really big here. There's a still to this very day, there's a lot of people who are very prejudiced, who are racist, and they don't care. They will tell you straight up, see, again, I'm gonna have to like really debunk this. But at the same time, I am intervening in Nathan's time to get on the show tonight. So
He's
thank
still
you,
got like
Leitreanna.
25 minutes, but yeah, go ahead.
I
Finish
just
up.
He's
wanted
gonna be
to.
on in
I
25
wanted to.
minutes.
Yeah.
I just heard the word expose. He's afraid of either being exposed or you're going to expose something. Okay.
Yes.
So I think she knows.
Yeah. What that is the secrets that was basically they thought it was buried and gone and all that. And what I come to find out, going through, all the footage, a few years ago about Bay Oaks Harbor that I took, I have over like 40 hours worth of footage and so forth. And yeah,
Was that it again?
I'm gonna have to go back and pull the episode and just break it down. Chris, I'll try to send you a really good copy.
yeah, and you know what? Let's be honest. Like the last time we spoke and all that one-on-one and everything, it was kind of the same. We were talking. Remember when something was behind me?
Yeah, something was messing with you.
Feel it? Yeah. So, but God knows who I have around me. I'm just thinking it's Ed because.
But you're also Native American, right? You've got some indigenous. So a lot of your indigenous families vowed to stay with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and that's probably the case. My grandfather was Blackfoot, half Blackfoot.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and then my grandmother was on my dad's side. She was Sioux Indian, Sioux Native American, and then on my grandmother's side, they're French, but her grandmother was Native American, was Cherokee. And
I
but
did
before
see
that,
it again, Marla.
Yeah.
I did see it again.
And like who knows? I mean, it could be my dad. Who
It said, "People see me."
Yeah, people do see you, not just us.
Who
Chris,
are
see
you?
me
What is your
too?
name? What do you want with me? Like
Well,
now I got to turn my stuff on.
Well,
we
I
got
hate to tell you guys, but we do have like 20 minutes, but I do need to go ahead and close it out pretty soon.
Okay.
At least ish.
Okay, yeah. You know
Well,
what? I mean, we always have, this is a common thing, basically. When
Yeah.
I'm on the show and something pops up in the back, I did debunk the last time when I thought a face showed up, and like, look, dude, this face was
Oh, it
like
looks
ball,
like it.
like the demonic version, the demonic ball, the demon, and I'm like, what the hell, and all that. But thank God, it was just a deer on a blanket, and my son turned on his light, and it was just a light source.
Oh, thank goodness.
I
Okay.
was
Well,
I didn't want to deal with that shit. Like, nah, man.
I
Not
was like,
today,
oh
Satan.
no.
not today, Satan. That's
Yeah,
No, not today. Thank you,
well.
Leitreanna.
Thank you. I wanted to show you guys this. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
Brandon Alvis and Mustafa Gadalori, and they have Haunted Exploration, and then they released Family Spirits. And Mom and my husband and myself, we're on an episode with that. You can see that on Haunt TV, and you can also stream it. I don't know how. But there it is. You can look that up. Also, this is 24 Hours in Hell. And Matthew and I went to Pennsylvania and filmed with them last winter. It was cold AF in Pennsylvania. In that house, you could feel the wind blow. That was incredible, though, because it's extremely haunted. Anybody that's interested in going to a really, very saturatedly haunted house, I okay. He's asking if he's dead. By the way, you're gonna have it tried to come back again. He
Yes.
wants so you're gonna have to have a talk. Yeah.
Oh. 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 Okay. All right. Look, I'm not good with these talks. It's just like, you don't want to
Sorry,
hurt their feelings. Because I can't imagine being on the other side, being in a car accident, you know, um, and then something happens so abruptly. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm like, what the hell that just happened? To me, I think that would be the most scariest feeling, and I don't think it has anything to do with your faith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it
when that
doesn't.
time comes, like if you know that if you have cancer and it's terminal, or it's a wake up call. We I don't know, when my parents passed away, it made me really look at my own mortality. You know what I'm saying?
Just did it again.
Mhm.
Chris is like,
Chris, like, what the? Excuse me. Hold on. Let me put the banner up. Chris, like, what the hell? Look at that
Hell.
face. What the hell?
but you're right. I'm also getting something about wanting to know, am I dead? And there's more than one, a man and a female, and they're wanting to know if you can get a message to somebody, of course.
Oh, I bet you it's my nephew Christopher. See, he died in a
Probably.
car accident about 8-9 months ago.
Mhm.
Him and his
Now I'm getting I'm always watching. I'm always with you. So yeah,
yeah.
it probably is him.
Oh
There
yeah,
it is
because
again. Did you see it? It was coming through.
I did. I was looking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got an
yeah.
investigation tonight, Miss.
Yeah, Chris was my nephew. Chris did make the best choices. He had it rough, you know. But what really got Chris was Chris's mother passed away a year previous, or a year and a half previous before he did. And come to find out, someone gave her medication that had fentanyl in it, and
Oh,
she ended up dying suddenly from it.
yeah, he just
Uh,
said fast. He said fast. It happened
Yeah,
fast.
and he couldn't get over it,
He didn't feel
and he
like
just
he needed to be here. He needed to
yeah
be with.
yeah he was going downhill. I remember getting messages from him, and he was sending to other family members, just how much he loved, how much he loved us, but he just felt like, this is not, I want to be with my mom, you know, I want to be with my mother. He was with a girl he shouldn't have been with, you know. Did your nephew like to mess with your hat? Probably when he was little, because he used to sit on my lap all the time, like when we would go over and visit. And his name was Chris, his little Chris, and his daddy was Big Chris, and I'm Chris. Yeah, but yeah, we had a bond. I mean, I saw him kind of like, my son. I didn't. There were a lot of things I didn't agree with that he did, and I tried to put him in the right direction and all that. But you know, when they're grown, there's not much he can do. But he really loved his mama, and that was his heart and soul.
Okay, so
And
he's saying something. I'm sorry to interrupt, but he's
no,
saying
cool.
that whomever this is, that the world where he was, his world has changed. Like if he was still alive, so much changed quick, but you haven't, and that's why he's with you.
Yeah, yeah. Like it. I don't know, like everything. It's just it's a sad situation, But I don't know. Like I think Gwen knows, but I've lost like a lot of people in my life.
I
I've
know.
lost over 45 people, man, and still counting. And I can honestly say I have not really grieved like I should, because it's just overabundance. I tend
It
to
just keeps coming. I know.
yeah, I disattach myself, from my emotions. I feel sorry for, my family members who have lost loved ones. I have a cousin who lost his son, and he was 10, from cancer a year,
It's horrible.
what, almost over a year now. And then 3 days later after that he lost his mom. See, I see it again. And
You guys, I'm gonna leave. If you will close it out, I'm gonna jump over to the other one to get it started.
Go ahead. Go
oh
ahead.
yeah,
Get it
Thank you
together.
guys
Yeah.
for tuning in, and
thank
Chris,
you.
you have a good night. Okay.
All right, thank you.
And I'm getting he's asking about his gravestone.
Hmm. I don't know about that. I know that he was in a casket. They cremated him. But I know that his ashes are with his mother, and I think they are buried. But I'll definitely ask his dad about the tombstone.
I think that he's wanting to know because he wants you to touch it. He wants you to be able to connect with him.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they're both buried in a town about, I want to say, about an hour and a half away from here, over there by the coast,
Okay.
over in Angleton. Um,
And he
yeah,
does want you to know he was sick, that he was just sick. He had made himself sick. There's a lot of things going on with that, and
yeah,
he just
he
wants you
he
he wants
couldn't
you
he
to know.
couldn't keep himself he couldn't keep himself clean. Neither was the drinking, or it was the drugs. But you know what? We all have our demons. We all have that. I've never judged him for that, because he's my nephew and all that. I mean, there are things that probably a lot of people will not forgive him for, and I should be one of those people too. But I believe
He
that
said everybody left him, even his ghost friends leave, and he just feels like it was just too much.
yeah, and I believe that. I mean, we don't have answers, of the situation that transpired, to their death. What we do know is that he was driving, and I just feel that there was some type of argument that was going on, because they just kind of from my understanding, they had a toxic relationship. Um, he chose to move out of his aunt's house, who allowed him to stay there because she wouldn't allow the girlfriend to move in or whatever, and so he moved out. And I just feel that he got upset. He was lost, you know, and he decided to scare her probably and all that, and ran his car off the road, hit a mailbox. He went airborne and hit a culvert,
Jeez.
and I think it killed her instantly. And him, they tried to revive him, but he died.
I'm
You
so
know,
sorry.
yeah, me
He
too,
said
me too.
he said you can hear his whisper.
Yeah, yeah, and like right after he passed away, and when I found out the news, then I woke like Vicky's aunt. She lives. This is her property. We live on the property. You know, we live in another house. I remember walking to go tell her. Well, we have woods like right back behind us, which I truly believe that it's haunted. You know, there's like something not right in those woods, and I could have swore that I saw him standing there, like on the outside, of the woods, and he was just looking at me.
Yeah, he said he's
And
always watching you.
yeah, yeah, but and sometimes I wonder where he's at because he was kind of upset. He was kind of angry, and I think a lot of that was too is because it happened so fast. I don't think he meant it.
He didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And he felt bad, and it was just like, oh well, now there's more people that hate me more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, so I just hope he found his mother. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just, that was his mom. That was his rock. She never left him. You know what I'm saying? She had unconditional love for him.
Maybe
That
have you
most.
found your mama? Have you found her? Because that's the one person that taught you love. You had lots of people that loved you, but your mom taught you to love. Talk to me. He says, "Yeah, I hear you," but he didn't answer the question. You're gonna find her if you haven't. You will find her.
Yeah, I just feel that his tragedy, and all the emotions that he had before he passed is really interfering in him trying to find his mother, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I mean, and it could be him too saying, help me,
I think so. I think
you know,
he wants to get resolution so he can chill. He wants to
or
rest. He said, "I want to rest."
yeah, and then I heard too, like a few days after that, a few weeks ago, I heard, hey, I'm like, what, and then the next following day, I'm like, working on some post editing stuff, and I'm the only one here, and I hear my son's TV turn on,
Oh,
and I hear like country western, like Bonanza, but it doesn't sound like a new TV. It sounds like an older TV. I kind of kept myself in the zone, and I walked over there, and right when I opened the door, it just ceased. Moments later, I got violently ill. I was basically TMI, thrown up at both ends. You know, um, I was running fever, and I don't run fever. I think I ran fever 7 times and it broke. Never had that. It didn't feel like the
wow.
flu, so I don't know if it was an impression on me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe at toward the end of death, again, whoever was trying to contact me or whatever was making me feel that.
Projecting there, yeah, so you'd know
Right,
who they are.
right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's viruses out there. Like I was sick for like a whole month.
Oh my god,
Um.
that's a whole lot more than a virus.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, because
we got to hop off because,
all right,
Gwen's got to have the stream. I do
all
want
right,
you to
cool.
know that, remember that the cards from the '70s And the message I feel that your family has for you is that they're wanting you to know that they're free and full of discovery. And I'm asking everybody that watched this tonight to remember that your journey is meant to be lived just like her cards. Live boldly, spiritually, and in full color.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Leitreanna, for coming on tonight. I greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you for everyone for tuning in to podcast OutKast Radio. Thank you so much. And until we meet again Wednesday, take care.